Hey everybody, welcome back to another Deck Profile Friday. This here is probably going to be the last one in the current standard format, which is Sword and Shield base set, all the way up to Crown Zenith. As you know, this weekend, we're going to be having the first Scarlet and Violet pre-releases. So that'll be awesome. Great to change things up, which is, what we desperately need in this game right now, rather than having, Lugia VStar, Lost Box, Mew, Regis, etc. just run rampant. And, it's just pretty boring. We need to go back to, an exciting format where you can, play practically anything and do well, right? Kind of like 2006, or a newer, older format like Sun and Moon to, I think it was Lost Thunder, a format like that, right? Where there's a lot you can play, and that's what it needs. So, but we're going to be covering a deck that I probably would have played at the regional this past weekend in Vancouver. It's a deck that I'm very familiar with, and it's a deck that I've already featured 3 times on my channel. And I wanted to show you an updated list, right? So if you're looking to, play around with it, sure, go for it. You're not going to have much time left, right? That's the reason why I'm posting it. But it is a very good list, right? And it has, a 50-50 matchup with Lugia VStar, right? It has a 50-50 matchup with Mew VMax. It has at least a 50-50 matchup versus Lost Box, right? And then Regis as well. It can definitely take out Regis, which is absolutely awesome. So, I want to get into it. And, without further ado, let's get into the deck profile. So, the deck that I'm talking about is Regidrago VStar, right? And my version is a turbo version, meaning that it can pop off turn 1, and it does that consistently, right? And you don't need to have like the best hand. You just need to have access to resources, right? And then having access to those resources will get you the cards needed to set up. So let's get into it. To start, we have Regidrago VStar. We got 2 of those and 2 of the V. We played 2-2 for the following reasons. The first one is that charging up that attack Apex Dragon on Regidrago VStar is very hard. It takes 3 turns, right, of manual attaching, excluding anything that can speed up that process, right? Meaning, if it's knocked out, right, it's going to take you a long time to set up another one. That's not good. The other thing, right, actually, yes, there's three reasons. The other thing is that it's easily knocked out, right, by Yveltal Amazing Rare, right? The one from Shining Fates. It's easily knocked out. They just, I think it's Amazing Destruction. Just, you're knocked out. And then what happens to you at that point, right? They just knocked you out, and you do not have a way to recover, right? That's a problem. And the other problem is the prize trade, right? The prize trade between Regidrago and Lugia is not in your favor. And that is just with a standard list. That's just with a run-of-the-mill standard list that you'd find on Instagram or other YouTube channels, right? This list is designed to counter that problem, right? But yeah, anyway, about the card here. So the V there, 220 HP, 3 retreat as with the V-Star. No weakness or resistance, the same thing with the V-Star. Celestial Roar. Discard the top 3 cards of your deck. If any of those are energy, attach them to this Pokemon, which is awesome. And then Dragon Laser for 2 grass and a fire. It does 130. And then a 30 snipe anywhere on the board. And then the V-Star, right? Apex Dragon for 2 grass and a fire, right? It copies any dragon types Pokemon's attack in the discard pile. And then it's V-Star Power Legacy Star. You can discard the top 7 cards of your deck, and then you select 2 cards from the discard pile and add them to your hand. And keep in mind, it's not just from the 7 that you discarded with that ability. It's your whole discard pile. Meaning if you have 20 cards in there, including the 7 you just discarded, you can select any 2 from those 20 cards, which is awesome. And 280 HP, which is standard for a really good V-Star to boot. Awesome. We're going to get into the dragon types that we play now. We play Duraludon VMax, right? We play Giratina VStar. And then Hisuian Goodra VStar. The dream team here. These are the best 3 to play. These are the only 3 that you should be playing. You try and play Garchomp, right? Garchomp V. You try and play Flygon V. Sure, those are okay. 220 snipe anywhere on the board with Garchomp. Sure, awesome, right? Or Flygon V, ability to knock out a Mew VMAX in one hit with its attack that, punishes VMAXs. I think it does 320, right? Sure, you can play those no problem. But they are very bad starters. And what do you do if you start with them, right? They're just left in play, sitting, on your bench and doing absolutely nothing because you can't discard them, right? Why would I want that? I want to have every single Pokemon in the deck serve a purpose. And these 3 here serve purposes, right? Duraludon is awesome, right? You don't really care about anything except for the attack on it, right? G-Max Pulverization does 220 damage. And this attack's damage isn't affected by any effects on your opponent's active Pokemon. So if this, if it has, your opponent's active has like a V protection thing going on, like that Miltank from Astral Radiance or Altaria from Champion's Path, etc., this goes through it. And the other significance is it hits for 220, which on most Vs, by the way, like Giratina, like Goodra, like Duraludon, they have 220 HP, so it's a perfect one-hit knockout. Giratina VStar, right? Lost impact. It does 280 damage. What's the significance of that? Well, 280 knocks out most V-Stars, right? Actually, all V-Stars, except for, I believe, Regidrago VStar, which is not played, but it came out in Crown Zenith. But it knocks them out, right? Knocks out Palkia, knocks out Arceus, knocks out Lugia, right? Those are the main 3 that are being played right now. Goodra, it knocks it out if it hasn't used Rolling Iron. Right, it knocks it out. And when you put a choice belt on it, it knocks out a Mew VMAX by doing a perfect 310 damage. That's our counter to Mew. It just knock it out with Giratina. Okay. Goodra serves a purpose, right? This is not a Goodra deck. It's a Regidrago VStar deck. However, it does play like a Goodra deck because it can just copy Rolling Iron. The only problem is we can't heal like a Goodra deck does. But when you're playing against something like Lost Box, right? And you use Rolling Iron, which does 200, any damage done to you is reduced by 80. That's really good, right? And you just keep doing that, and that's how that can win you games, right? So that's why these three are the best three Pokemon for this deck, for the Dragon types. Okay. So back earlier, I had mentioned that this deck has a problem, just like a standard list, has a problem on dealing with, Lugia VStar because they play that amazing rare Yveltal, right? And the prize trade isn't in your favor. Well, we're going to make it in our favor by countering their counter, right? And we're going to do that by playing a 2-2 Appletun line, right? So keep in mind this Appletun line, it can be swapped out, and which I'll get into in a minute, right? But the Appletun has its first attack there, Thick Mucus, which is why we play it. For a single colorless, this attack does 70 damage for each special energy card attached to your opponent's active Pokemon, right? So this is great because, Lugia VStar has 4 energy cost, right? With its, I think it's Tempest Dive. I think that's what it's called. Correct me if I'm wrong. But anyway, it's the 4 energy attack that discards the stadium and does, I believe it's 220, right? They were cost 4 energy. Well, if they have 4 special energy cards on it, you're going to hit that perfect 280 on that Lugia VStar. They play V-Guard energy. Okay. You play Choice Belt, right? The 30s cancel each other out, right? If they play the double turbo, that's fine, right? You just, can take a 2-hit KO. Or what you can do is you can swap this out, right? This card is interchangeable, and I actually don't have a copy of this for some reason, but you could play the Flapple from the same set, Evolving Skies there, which does 50 damage for each of your opponent's Pokemon in play that has an ability. What an awesome card, right? You can play, you can swap out both Appletuns and play, 2 Flapple. You could play one of each, right? Having one of each is not too bad. And the other thing, too, keep in mind they're both Dragon type, meaning Regidrago VStar can actually copy their attacks and get that knockout. That's another thing that can happen. Applin there. So Applin, this is the best one just because of its attack there, Continuous Tumble. Flip going until you get Tails. This attack does 10 damage. Plus 30 more damage for each heads. So you are capable, if you're, a good flipper, you're capable of dealing some serious damage with that attack. All right. Fighting tackle on the Appletun there, 80, and if they're a V, it does 80 more. That's not too bad. Right, 160, not terrible on a stage 1. Right, and that's a lot beefier than some of the stage 2s, so that's crazy. One other card that I wanted to mention too that you can swap these out for, the Applin and the Appletun, is this card, Raichu. Right, you can swap out, the 2-2 line in favor of 2-2 Raichu line, or you can just, swap a 1-1 line out and put a 1-1 Raichu line. And that's there for the Ambushing Spark attack, which is awesome because it's a colorless, right? And it says if your opponent has used a V-Star power during this game, right, which is crazy, This attack does 100 more damage, so that's 140 damage. And if you're able to hit, that Lugia V-Star, one they don't have a Dunsparce in play, you'll hit for weakness, which does a perfect 280 damage to knock it out, right? So that's another possible counter, and it just fits in really nice because of the colorless attack, right? And the other thing too, like it's got one retreat, which is not terrible as well. Okay, so that is the Appletun line, right? That's, my personal tech, right? And we play it just to get in favor of the prize trade and take out some good knockouts. Next, we play 2 Leafeon V. This is an incredibly good card. We need to play it so we can hit that turn 2 Regidrago VStar Apex Dragon attack. We got a Crobat V, a Drapion V, and a Radiant Greninja. So Leafeon there is not too bad of an attacker. If anything's weak to grass, right? So think like Umbreon VMax. Single strike Umbreon VMax. If you think Darkrai VStar, right? Or Galarian Moltres V, they're all weak to grass, right? So Leafeon can just go in and just smack them. All right, it costs you 3 energy, but whatever. But it's mainly there for greening cells. Its ability, which allows you to attach a grass energy card from your deck to one of your Pokemon, and if you do, your turn ends. So your first turn of the game, you attach to Regidrago V, and then greening cells, and you got 2 energy on it. Pardon me. Crobat V. Crobat is in there for mainly Dark Asset, which allows you to draw cards until you have 6 in your hand. Right? You're going to be wanting to use that in combination with Radiant Greninja, and you're typically going to be playing those on the first turn of the game, right? If you get both of those in play on your first turn of the game, you're going to be in a very good spot. Radiant Greninja there, we only play it for concealed cards, right? Which allows you to discard an energy to draw 2, right? That's what we want to be doing with this deck, is drawing into as much as possible. And then Drapion V is our other Mew counter, right? It's, Mew is too good to not play Drapion V, right? So between Giratina VStar's attack, Lost Impact with a Choice Belt, and Drapion, right? That's how we get our 6 prizes, right? Or you can just, do the long way and just Goodra, right? Goodra, 2-hit KO Mew VMax, and then, use the Drapion and just knock in another one, right? There you go. And that is the Pokemon in the deck. Now on to the trainers, supporters, and stadiums. Yes, this is a long one, but I wanted to stress the importance of this deck. The best draw card in the game. 3 Professor's Research. 2 Boss's Orders. Lysander, literally. Bring up whatever you want to knock out and knock it out. 2 Serena. Right, Serena is really good because we can discard cards like our evolutions, like Duraludon, Giratina, and Goodra, and draw cards, or Boss's Orders of Pokemon V. Right, I think 4 here is the perfect combination for it too. Play a single Marnie just for some extra draw, and you could swap it out with Judge if you want. I don't think that'd be too bad. Stadiums, 2 training courts. This is probably the best stadium for it, is, it combos really well with the Greninja. And a Temple of Sinnoh. Alright, Temple of Sinnoh is great because it, can shut off that V-Guard energy, right? Which is, another card that can hold it back from hitting that perfect knockout on that Lugia V-Star. And that is it for the supporters and the stadiums. Now on to the trainer cards, the item cards. So the item cards, this is where we get the speed of the deck, right? And we want to play, a lot of items, right? A lot of Pokemon search, so we can get that perfect start. All right, and the best card for it is Battle VIP. This is practically a staple. I think it's going to be a staple in pretty much every deck in the modified format moving forward. And Quick Ball, right? So Quick Ball is awesome, right? Because we're able to discard a card, which is typically our evolution cards, right? We got a basic Pokemon, and it can help us with the Crobat. 4 Ultra Ball, same thing, can discard, our evolutions, and it searches out evolutions. So a lot of the time, I will play an Ultra Ball to search out, to discard an evolution, to search out an evolution, and then play a Quick Ball discarding the evolution to grab a Crobat, right? And then I just lost, how many cards there? Like 3 cards to, get a good draw off Crobat. Like, that's crazy. The 2 ofs, 2 Air Balloon, right? 2 Last Retreat, which is good. 2 Big Parasol. Another really important card, the Umbrella. Ella. There you go. Sorry. This is great against the amazing rare Yveltal, right? And I think it can, I think it stops that the Regice and the Regidrago, right? They're not able to, use that one attack. I think it's called, I don't know, what is it? What's that attack called? Oh, Blizzard Bind. If the defending Pokemon is a Pokemon V, it can't attack during your opponent's next turn. So that's great against that, right? Just in case if they try and stall you. Okay. So yeah, 2 very important cards. 2 Choice Belt for an extra 30 damage to V Pokemon. So these are really crucial. 2 Evolution Incense just to increase the consistency of our Pokemon evolution search, right? So we got, between Ultra Ball and that, we got 6 copies, which is good. I used to have 7, right? But I wanted to have a little bit more tech. And then lastly, the 1-ofs, an Escape Rope, because it's really good. An Ordinary Rod to shuffle Pokemon and energy back in the deck. And a Switch, right? So we got 4 retreating cards, which is really, really good. I feel like this is the best combination too. Just so we're able to get that, that turn 2 Apex Dragon off of Regidrago VStar. Like I said, this is the turbo version. So it's extremely consistent. And that is it for the trainers. So now we're going to finish up with the energy cards. And I'm sure that you probably guessed it. Right? I wonder what energy we're playing in the deck here. We're playing Psychic and Lightning. I'm kidding. We're playing Grass. We got 6. And then 4 Fire for 10 energy. And I feel like this is the perfect combination as well. I've tried 11. I've tried 9. Right? I feel like 10 is the perfect combination with, the trainer cards that we have. Right? Because, it... we're able to have a little bit more of an advantage because of the trainer cards in some matchups than, having that extra energy, right? And I felt like I was getting energy in the hand way too much, so I think 10's the perfect combination. So But there you go, everybody. That is Regidrago VStar. This is my list. I feel like this list is pretty much perfect. I would have played this in the Vancouver Regional had I went, as I'm so confident in this. I feel like it has good matchups pretty much across the board. It can beat, Lost Box, Mew, Lugia, right? Regis as well. Its hardest matchups are probably the decks that are not popular, like Arceus Duraludon, because they have healing. Goodra VStar, right? Because they have healing as well. And probably Eternatus VMax, just because of the HP and the fact that they just deal an incredible amount of damage. Like, it'll literally just overwhelm you, which is absolutely crazy. So, oh, and one other thing too, the air balloons, right? You can swap those out for Switch and Escape Rope if you want. It's really up to you. But that is Regidrago VStar and friends, right? So cool. You get to play all these cool dragons in here, right? I love it. And yeah, let me know what you think. And if you like what you're hearing and seeing, then like this video, subscribe to the channel. As I'm always trying to provide entertaining content and some good advice. And this is Deck Profile Friday, so it happens every Friday for the most part. Don't forget to check out Opening Sunday and then Gameplay Wednesday. I'm not really too sure if I'm going to be doing Gameplay Wednesdays moving forward, but we will see what's going to happen. And yeah, there you go, everybody. Don't forget as well that if we can get to 100 subscribers on the channel, I will be doing my first giveaway, and it'll be definitely worth your while. So, look forward to that. And, yeah, there you go. And hopefully everybody has a good Scarlet and Violet pre-release weekend, as it should be pretty exciting. But, yeah, there you go, everybody. Thank you so much for watching this video. And once again, see you in the next one.